Here we go.
Good evening. Looks like from what I can see, we have a quorum, so I'd like to open the December 4th North Beach Planning Commission meeting. We're gonna have a slight adjustment on the posted agenda. Um, we'll get the staff report and then we'll move to the Category 1 site plan approval. And then we will review um, the Planning Commission rules and procedures on a follow-up meeting date.
Yes, can someone make that motion to amend the agenda?
I move that we amend tonight's agenda to defer item B under business items, the North Beach Planning Commission Rules of Procedure discussion/adoption to the January meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
If we have time, do we want to hit the minutes or do we want to go right to the director report?
I apologize. I removed the minutes from tonight. I did not have time to follow up with your last meeting to produce the minutes, so I'll do both of the minutes and present them both at the January meeting.
That's fine. I guess we just need to we don't have to resolve that. We can just
No,
go
because
slow review.
I removed it.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, and then with that, I guess we're ready for Rick's report then.
All right, so the only thing you have left on the agenda is the applicant is asking for a favorable recommendation to go to the Board of Appeals. This project is an existing home that is going to be torn down, new one built in its place. As you can see under the project summary, it's on a 30 by 150 foot lot, so it will need side setback variance. They are actually asking for a small setback, 2.5 feet reduction for the lot. House is 19 foot, it's going to leave about 5.5 feet on each side, so they're asking for a 2.5 foot reduction to put it on the lot. Everything else meets current regulations. And the rest of the report has all of the relevant zoning comprehensive plan comments. It is in a critical area. The residential water quality plan that they submitted is sufficient, meets everything that's needed. No stormwater is needed because of the amount of disturbance is under 5,000 square feet. Everything else is pretty standard.
Can we clarify what he was asking for? He has a series of drawings in there. He actually has the stormwater. He has all the appropriate drawings, but he's showing a 5 foot setback. Is he on each side?
No, it's 5 feet on each side. It's five. If you look at it, it says 5 foot plus. It's about 5 feet 4.5 inches. So they're asking for a 2.5 feet reduction.
From below that?
No, they're asking to reduce from 8 feet to 5.5 feet. So 2.5 feet reduction is what they're asking.
Okay, so in the reduction,
Could I add to that for just to clarify that reduction? The current house is 18 feet 6 inches. The house plan that we are proposing is 19 feet. So really, from what currently is there, it would be 6 inches wider from what's currently there. If that makes sense on the reductions in setbacks. Like it's not like we're going from what is existing as a 8 foot setback to then build a new house with 5 foot setbacks. We are currently, and actually the house that's currently there is not centered on the lot, so it will favor one neighboring house, but we really are asking for something that is almost exactly 6 inches wider than what's currently there. So I just wanted to clarify the whole 2.5 feet in reduction. That's
Well,
all.
I want to comment on that because that's not what your plan shows. Your plan shows the existing house is 14 feet wide, centered on the lot with 8-foot setbacks on either side. So, and your new plan shows a 19-foot wide house with 5.5 foot on each side. So it actually is reducing the setback, the current setback of 8 foot to 5.5 on each side. So that's what your plan shows.
And I wish I could speak to why it's that current house that's been there for, I mean, that's an older house.
Okay.
Is saying or showing 14 feet wide. It is not.
Okay. Well, let me just clarify. I mean, that's or let me get a clarification. So, as drawn includes the variance you would like, correct? The final dimension, the 5.5 foot offset.
Yeah, let me just jump in real fast. The house that shows the current house, if you look at it, it shows 8.5 feet of setback on one side and 3 feet on the other. The house is 18.5 feet wide, as shown on the plan.
So maybe that might explain why it's showing less on the one side, but we are, I know that
I'm sorry, Rick, you're right. It shows 8 foot on one side and 3 foot on, no.
Yeah, 3 foot plus on the other.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I guess there's a bump out on that house.
Yeah, and
It's
then
actually
the one
straight.
line kind of goes through the one line kind of goes through one of the numbers, so it looks a little skewed, but
Yeah.
it is 18.5 feet.
Okay.
So let me ask a question, just because I needed to, if this goes to the Board of Appeals, is each side asking for a different setback?
No. So the new house is they're asking they're gonna tear the house down. They're gonna build the new house squared on the lot. It'll be 5.5 feet on each side. So they're asking for a 2.5 foot reduction
On each side?
on each side.
Okay,
North and
okay,
south.
okay.
2.5 reduction from,
Takes it to 5.5 foot setback.
okay, so it's not a 2.5 foot reduction on the one side because the one side's already 3 foot.
That's why I was asking,
yeah.
because you already brought that point up. Right.
Yeah, so
it
it's
would actually be sitting that one house, and I don't mean to interrupt you guys. I'm sorry. I just have a photographic memory of where it sits. It will just be slid over so that it is centered
yeah,
on that lot.
yeah. Okay, so it is 5.5 on each side, a reduction of 2.5 feet from the current building restriction line.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. All right. So that's something that has to go to the Board of Appeals, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I couldn't pull it up the right size. So what, again, your stormwater drawing looked like it had what you want to be the final dimensions, and if approved, the final setbacks, which are 5.5 feet. What is the drawing number on that again?
On the new plan,
Yeah,
it's
he captures,
it's
I
two of
believe,
three. 2 of 3, Bill.
203.
2
Okay.
of 3.
203. Okay. And that's important because that's what I thought. It captures what he's asking for
It
if
does.
approved.
It does.
So we can refer to that, if you will. That's the dimensioning being requested. Does that make
Correct.
sense? Okay.
Correct.
All right.
And the site grading is, I mean, it's a fairly flat lot and it grades from back to front. Don't think there's really any change to, no real site development. I did question, you have an existing tree line shown or trees. I don't know if that's correct or not. Can you comment on whether that tree line is actual?
So as far as the trees on the lot, there is one that I would say sort of borders the lot to the left. That
Okay.
tree is going to stay. That will
In the
not
front.
impede anything. There is about a 8, maybe 10 foot, I'm going to call it a bush right in the center in the front of that house. that
Right.
that's probably going to come out. Just it's sort
Well,
of
this
unsightly and
looking at the 2 of 3 drawing. There's what appears to be a tree line that runs almost to the center of the house. And I don't know that that's
um,
actual or not, but that's the way
there was a tree to the rear of that house, but on the neighboring lot where it was so big. I mean, and believe me, it's probably 4.5 to 5 foot wide trunk on that tree, but that was taken down years ago. Which we had pulled a miscellaneous permit for because limbs were dropping on the roof of those houses. But as it exists, that tree that is, if you're, I don't have 2 of 3, but if you're referring to one at the rear of those residents, that tree's
Well,
no longer there.
what I'm asking is because this tree line is shown on your drawings and it is on the new house plan, the question really is there clearing involved in the development of this house?
You would have to give me a moment to pull up the site plan, but there is only one piece of vegetation that's going to be removed, and that is a 8 foot tall bush in the center at the front of that lot up against the sidewalk. No other trees currently would come out.
Okay, and the one on the left remains.
That one on the left will remain. We trimmed up a few dead limbs a few years ago, but the tree seems to be healthy, so that larger tree will remain. It's just a bush. If you just give me a few minutes, I'll try and pull up the site plan myself.
It's shown on both the existing and the tree vegetation.
Is there any way to screen share a copy of that?
Give me a second. I need to go into a different file.
Sure.
Which page are you looking for?
2 of 3.
1 and 2 of 3.
Hold on. Two?
2 of 3.
I have it right here. All right, so if we're on 2 of 3, there is a tree. Yeah, I'm not sure what.
Wait a minute, let
So
me
that
see.
would be towards the rear quarter of the houses, correct?
Yeah, about half of the lot. The rear half is shown to be under some form of vegetation.
Yeah, so that would be what I believe to be referring to the canopy of said trees. So if you're looking at page 2 of 3, the rear left corner.
Is that what you looking for?
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh, that's
So if you
page 3.
that's fine.
Okay, this is good.
It still shows it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So right there where I guess that peninsula of vegetation comes out,
Right.
there was at lot 106, so the neighboring lot, the rear corner of that house where it says LOD, there was a very, very large tree, the rear.
Yeah, you can see the stump from Google Maps or Google Images.
Oh yeah, it's massive, but it was dying and it was dropping very large limbs all over the roofs of the neighboring houses. So we filed for miscellaneous permit probably 3 years ago.
Okay.
So this may not be updated, but there is no tree cover being removed other than that bush, which it would be next to the driveway out in front of the proposed.
Okay. So no clearing per se, except that one bush at the front. And in the rear of the property where I guess the existing shed is to remain, there's no disturbance there. There's no LOD back there, correct?
No, we intend to basically just restore the shed with new siding and shingles to match towards the end of this. But other than that, that shed would remain and any trees around it would remain as well.
So the question I have there, I guess, Rick, is that setback of that existing shed of 1'9" grandfathered with this new development?
Yeah, as long as they're not removing it and
Okay.
rebuilding it.
Well, what are you doing with it? You just said shingles and siding.
Correct. So it's currently it has a concrete, I guess, floor in it. And it's shingled with a painted siding, but we would just, whatever color siding we choose, we would just match it on that shed so that it's sort of cohesive.
Okay.
I'm looking at this on a computer, so it may be there and I just haven't found it yet, but is there any information about the landscaping? I see mulched planting
Yes.
area, but that's all I see.
20 native plants. I'm trying to get to it. If you go right down from where it says site plan,
Where do you want
in
me
the
to move
middle, and it
to?
shows the scale 1 inch equals 20 feet. If you're on, I guess I'm on page 3 of 14 on the
That's where
actual site plan that shows the new property.
That's
Yep,
where I'm at.
go. It's right at the bottom in the middle. If you look at residential water quality plan, it'll tell you. Planting of 20 native shrubs, a 3-foot wide, 6-inch deep mulch bed adjacent to screen porch and deck. And then the mulch beds are shown on the site plan to show where the plantings will take place. Did you find it, Jennifer?
Not yet. Oh. I see the close-up section of the driveway.
Right below that is where the water quality plan is and shows the plantings and landscape schedule.
These things are so much easier to do in person on paper.
It's note 3 under proposed design to the left center.
Is there a different page you want me to go to?
What page are you on?
I'm on
I'm
page
seeing
3
it. If you scroll down to the bottom of yours, just right, and
Go
then
a
go
little
to the right.
more, a little bit more. That's right there.
the proposed right here,
And then
land.
if you scroll to the right, it'll show the actual picture up against it.
The other right.
My other right.
Okay,
Yeah.
slightly back.
And go back so you can pick up note 3 to the left of that.
There we go.
A little bit more. There you go. Perfect.
Ah, got it.
Okay. There you go. Other method plantings of 20 native shrubs in a 3-foot wide, 6-inch deep mulch bed and adjacent to screen porch and deck. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, is that just in the back or is that also in the front?
Scroll up a little bit so you can get the whole graphic. There you go.
Well, I'm looking at
Right here, and on the back.
yeah, I don't have the Zoom screen up. I'm looking at the actual plan thing. And to the right of the proposed design, there's a graphic there. The rooftop schematic thing. It shows the property drive at the top and the house, but it also shows mulched areas in the front as well as the back. So they are going to be in the front alongside the drive and the porch, as well as the back porch area, correct?
Correct.
Okay. We don't know what kind of plants, right? Just native plants.
We typically go to a nursery and we show them the layout and tell them what we need. They sort of, I don't want to say they plan it for us, but they give us a lot of insight I know on some of the previous houses or times that I've been before you, you have asked for some trees here or there to be put back in place, which we always try and honor. We planted actually 6 additional plants, which were all trees on the 4th Street lots that we came before you guys a little over a year ago on. So, this is a basic concept of what we, per regulation have to do, but
Mhm.
I will say that we try and go above and beyond and make provide a good finished product, while also not harming trees at the same time.
Well, that's good. I mean, I will say everything that y'all have done looks pretty. Not enough windows, but looks pretty.
More windows?
Well, cross ventilation is good when the electricity goes out.
I agree with you. If I could put more in, I probably would. But sometimes just bedrooms and bathrooms, they don't allow for a certain number, but try to give you as much as we can.
Oh, I know. I appreciate it. Thanks.
So, yeah, what we're looking at tonight, this is to get a recommendation to go to the Board of Appeals and then it comes back. Um, so when it comes back for a final chop, if you don't mind just putting a planting list on that, I think that would be,
Yeah, I think we did the same thing at that corner of Second and Greenwood. We had asked for
yeah,
something similar, and
yeah, you guys
um,
gave us a nice list on the final permit app. So I
yep.
guess
So
that's
I'll go
what
back and review that, and we'll come up with something for, I guess, a proposed drawing and layout, similar to this, but exactly what would go where.
correct.
Cool.
I had a question for Rick. Rick, what's the building height in this zone? I think we went over this before, but I'm just back checking here.
40 feet.
40 feet, okay. Uh, I tailed off his dimensions. I think we're within that pretty easily.
About 28 or something.
Yeah,
This is like 28 and a half feet.
right. So that was on my check off. Does anybody have any more questions on this package here?
I do not.
No?
Looks good.
Okay. So I think we're going to need a motion here to move this. We have to give a recommendation as we send it over to Board of Appeals.
Mhm.
We would want to clarify that the offsets, the final dimension, including the offset request, are as shown on 2 of 3. And we would like to see a planting schedule on the final submission back if it's depending on Board of Appeals. Ooh, that got a little wordy. Sorry about that.
So is our recommendation to forward this to the Board of Appeals with those comments?
Right. Do we feel I'd like to pulse us. I think his offset request is reasonable. He's drawn it all out, done all the math. It looks like he centered it on the lot. So our input should be that we agree with the request, and then we would like to see a subsequent planning schedule on the way back in.
So we have no objection to the offsets.
Correct.
Mr. Chair, if I may ask, can we just make part of that motion that is a 2.5 foot variance for both sides of the property? Because I think 3 feet is what was referenced in the staff report and may have actually been what was requested. So it's a little bit less than what was requested.
The staff report was adjusted.
Yeah, we
With me.
adjusted it.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
had printed it out earlier today at 3 feet.
It was
And,
it was it,
and then
it
it
was
popped
late.
up at 2.5.
It was
Okay.
late this afternoon.
I know, I understand what you're asking. I'm trying to clean it up. I think we have it correct on sheet 2 of 3.
Yeah, what's on board docs is correct.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to refer to, because that is the correct. If we approve the variance, the final dimension is as shown on 2 of 3. I know that's kind of, if you will, backing into the dimension, but
Could we,
unless somebody has a better wording way to.
could we not just say that we would recommend approval of the request for a minus 2.5 feet on each side for the variance? And we would like to see a planting list when it comes back to us, if it's approved.
Just checking to see how we actually referred to it here.
But 2.5 reduction, not a minus 2.5.
No, it's going from 8 to 2.5.
No, it's going from 8 to 5.5.
It's going
Oh,
from
shit.
8 to
You're
5.5.
right.
But
You're
it's a
right. You're right.
2.5 reduction. So let me change what I said. We would advise or recommend granting the reduction of 2.5 feet in each side variance. And we would like to, if this is approved, see a planting list when it comes back. Yes, no? Do I have to say I move?
Oh, okay. Was that the motion then? I'm sorry.
No,
Then,
that's okay. I did not say I move that we recommend that the Board of Appeals grant the 2.5 reduction in the 2 side lot line for this project. And when it comes back, we would like to see a planting list if it was approved.
when it comes back, does it need to come back once the Board of Appeals approves it? For a planting list? Does it need to for our approval again, if we're recommending approval?
Rick, that's a you question.
I mean, I believe we can ask the attorney. I believe you can approve with conditions. Is that right?
So again, in preparing for tonight and looking at the agenda, this is identified as a report, right? So my question that I spoke to Rick about earlier today was whether this requires action or whether the action is taken in connection with item B or A, I'm sorry, on your next agenda item. And so I would ask Rick, is this your report and then the action that they have to take is with that next item? Or would this actually be, as already stated, the motion to approve a variance of 2.5 feet from the 8-foot side yard setback requirements for both side yards on this property? Is that what you're looking for with this item, I guess is my question.
Yes. I'm looking for the recommendation approval for side setbacks to go to the Board of Appeals.
Okay.
Previously, if they have agreed with,
Mhm.
good. No, previously,
No.
if they have agreed with everything else in the site plan, they have
Mhm.
approved other houses with the condition if they wanted to see a planting schedule, that planting schedule was sent in based on, yes, they were all native plants. Once the plant list came in, they didn't always require them to come back before the planning commission.
And so then the next item on your agenda, which is the site plan approval, right? Would just be conditioned upon the Board of Appeals approving the variance.
Correct. Right. think.
So
I don't mean to interject, and I'm sorry, Rick, but would it be easier if I got this planting schedule and plants lined up and sent to you all at the town tomorrow, to where everyone had a look at it prior to it even going to the Board of Appeals? Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I got an email earlier that's on Monday.
No, it's on the 15th.
Oh, well, I'm
Well,
way
I have a
off.
question with regard to our purview for planting. You know, plants are often based on their availability from the nursery you're buying from, so you don't always get what you may have designated. And as long as they're indigenous plants, native plants, I mean, what is our purview in determining? It's like picking a paint color for the house to me. I wonder whether we have any purview.
In the past, we requested planting lists. Now, this is going back, way back. We requested planting lists on site plans because of the landscaping requirements and because sometimes when we got the plants that the builder had chosen, we realized that perhaps the shrub that they planned to use as screening wouldn't grow high enough to actually fulfill that purpose. So that was one
I
of the
think I can
reasons
follow
in the
you
past.
on that with regard to screening because there, you know, screening has a certain uh, function, but plantings around the house doesn't seem to me like it falls within our purview. Whether it's red twig dogwoods or azaleas or hostas or what have you, why is it our? Why do we care? I mean, especially if what if they gave us, you know, three and said one of these three?
Well, if they're, I mean, short of a down select list um, of native plants, I'd like to see generally that it does comply. Um, you know,
I
so
just going back. I mean, making the contractor, the developer, whatever, resubmit just for a plant selection.
you could approve on the condition that they provide a list to the Board of Appeals that shows that they are using indigenous plants like they're supposed to, and which is required by the Critical Area Commission, and not have them come back to you. I believe you can do that if you like.
That
okay.
makes sense to me.
Is that
That
right,
works.
Karen?
You have a
I mean,
list
I'm
of
just
approved
trying to
plants.
ensure compliance on the stormwater calcs. That's all.
Well, that's the quantity and the size, not the
Right,
species.
but you got to tell me what they are for me to go. Okay,
So
got 'em.
this project does not require any stormwater at all. The only thing it requires is a water quality management plan that is satisfied by the rooftop runoff disconnect into the rain barrels. The plantings are additional. They actually do not have to plant anything to be in compliance for that. So the plantings are just extra and being done as a part of the requirement to show some sort of landscape schedule. But as far as critical area is concerned, they actually are not required to plant anything at all with this project.
Yeah. Okay.
And just speaking to the screening portion, the two lots on 4th Street,
And
the
there are
lady
no
that lives,
just to add something, Jared. There are no screening requirements for residential
no,
properties. It
no.
only
No,
exists
there
for
aren't.
commercial.
Absolutely. And I agree that there are no requirements, but because, you know, I always try and uh, tell that my grandfather loves the Twin Beaches. He truly does. And the lady that lived next to 4008 4th Street, when that house was erected, halfway through the project, she said, is there any way to plant something that would just screen the yards, not block the view of the sky or anything egregious? And we happily obliged. We are definitely never trying to, you know, circumvent the will of the people, I guess, if you could say. But, you know, we do try and make people happy, especially when the house, you know, goes up neighboring them. And that's what she asked for. And that was the 6 additional plants that I referenced earlier. They were trees. They get about 15 feet in height. They're arborvitaes. They stay green year round, but that was a request out of that. Just to speak to your concerns about the screening is that should something like that ever need to be done, we are more than happy to oblige in that aspect. That's all I wanted to say.
Now, I only mentioned screening because it was a commercial abutting residential, and that was the one that was in the top of my head. I'm not saying that you need to do screening.
Oh, no, 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 no. I just wanted to say that, food for thought, that we always do try and do our best.
So is our motion to recommend approval to the Board of Appeals? Do we approve first? Is that how that works? Because I've never done that before. I don't think.
All right, so let's do this. I move that the Planning Commission approve the requested side yard setback reduction from 8 feet to 5½ feet for the property located at 8920 Dayton Avenue, as shown on the submitted site plan. This approval is based on the finding that the request meets the applicable criteria for setback reductions, will not adversely impact adjoining properties, and is consistent with the purpose and intent of the North Beach zoning ordinance.
I think she needs a second there.
Trying to follow what she said. There's a lot of words in there.
You want me to say it again?
Well, maybe because I've never heard all that verbiage added to our approvals and subject to what?
There was a suggestion. I loved it. I move that the Planning Commission approve the requested side yard setback reduction from 8 feet to 5½ feet.
Period.
No, it's a run-on.
Okay. Okay.
For the property located at 8920 Dayton Avenue, as shown on the submitted site plan.
Period.
And this approval that we are doing is based on the finding that the request meets the applicable criteria for setback reductions. It will not adversely impact adjoining properties. And it's consistent with the purpose and intent of the North Beach zoning ordinance.
The end.
Is there a second?
I don't think I'm allowed to second if I'm chair tonight, right?
Do we have an alternate?
Only
No.
you come up with it.
I don't know. I don't really follow the superfluous add-on to that. I mean, maybe the attorney can, I mean, it sounds good, but why add it? I'm not sure I follow why adding that.
Why
We've never
not?
done that before.
It's just putting all our ducks in a row.
So there were two questions, one directed at me, but one also asking if there was an alternate present. Because that'll give you somebody else. Is that what you're looking for to weigh in on this?
Well, as the motion is currently stated, I'm not inclined to second based on not understanding and following that add-on language.
Okay.
So what would be before the Board of Appeals regarding which they're seeking a recommendation from the Planning Commission is a request for a variance of 2½ feet from the required 8-foot side yard setback for both side yards at the property that's the subject of the request.
Period.
Okay. And that's
I'm
what
good,
she
I'm
said.
good with that part.
And that's what she said. But what
Good
she
with that part.
added on was that the reason that you're making that recommendation is because you are finding that it meets the criteria for approval, basically. And that was what the second part of the motion was.
We don't determine whether it meets the criteria. The Board of Appeals would do that because it's obviously a variance.
Correct. The Board of Appeals does, but when you make your recommendation,
Which we did in the first sentence.
but you're making that recommendation based on the fact that you've considered why a variance can be approved. You're not just deciding willy-nilly that the variance is okay. You're looking at the code and the criteria and you're saying that we find that it is acceptable under the requirements of the code. Does that make sense? It may be different than what you're used to. I don't know, since this is only my
Well,
second time here.
it just sounds like unnecessary add-on language. We're doing our job presumably in accordance with the zoning regulations, and we don't need to add that language in there. Why do we need to add language in if we are on the planning board and following the rules and regs in the best interest of the town? I don't like the language.
You make a motion and I'll second.
I like the first sentence, 89, your first sentence ending with 8920 Dayton Avenue.
Okay, so let me revise it. I move, this is the last time I'm doing this, that the Planning Commission approve the requested side yard setback reduction from 8 feet to 5.5 feet for the property located at 8920 Dayton Avenue as shown on the submitted site plan.
Second. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry to be difficult, but
You're fine. Is the builder still on the horn here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do me a favor. It would just be a courtesy. When you do get a planning list, send it in and send it to our the Public Works, or at least over to Rick. 'Cause what I'd like to do is start compiling what we actually get on we run into this all the time where we're going to have a bunch of plantings and they have to be native and all this. I'd like to start so I could look back and go, okay, here's the typicals what we're seeing. We haven't put
Absolutely. Yeah, I would hope to have that to I'll send to Donnie and Rick tomorrow.
okay.
Hopefully I would either towards the later afternoon, but and I'll get a hold of, so I like to use, we get all of our plantings from Les King, does all
Okay.
of Chesapeake Beach's I guess the majority of their stuff, and does all the Christmas lights. He's kind of our go-to guy as far as obtaining them. So I'll reach out to him and get a full list of what he would recommend. And then we always like to add in on top of, like, because there are some flowering plants during the summer season that are not native,
Right.
but look better,
Sure,
than other
sure.
ones. Sure. So if we're required for 20, we might do 26 just to
Mhm.
provide a better street frontage look during the summer months. So, but I'll get that from him and get a rough sketch over to Rick and Donnie tomorrow.
Great. Thank you. And again,
And
Absolutely.
my
I
intent,
would add one thing when it comes to plantings. More important than necessarily species would be container size or height.
I agree with you. That's why I just found an arborvitae tree that it gets 3 feet wide and 12 to 15 feet tall. And I love that tree. I have
That's
a few of them
handy.
in my house. But and I can't think of the name right now, but they're stellar because they're the best of both worlds.
Sure.
So I agree with you.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you. And thank you, Jennifer.
All right. All right. So I think that's with us rolling the other two items to the next meeting, I think that concludes tonight's business unless I'm missing something.
Not that there's no other business tonight.
Okay. So we need a motion to adjourn then.
Move to adjourn the December 4th North Beach Planning Commission meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Good night,
Thank-
all.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.